bitch like I was Drake, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, you here been a front, so you get my meals. I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Come on with a dank, scrolling in the tank, rolling with the gang. You sitting out on the sideline tripping, I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
You know, he did not tell me that part. What up, though? Welcome to World Heavyweights live on Woodsports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by the legendary Terry Foster. Thank you for filling in. I appreciate
It's
you.
good to be here, but I'm bumming a little bit today.
Why is that?
They named a new pope.
Yes.
I heard he's from Chicago.
Yeah.
I heard he's from Detroit. And then I kind of heard maybe this wasn't true. Yeah, he's
from Detroit?
Yeah.
What?
And Chicago.
That's sick.
Now, this part I probably heard wrong because I was halfway asleep, but I heard he played basketball at Villanova.
He played basketball or went to
No, he just went to Villanova.
Okay,
Yeah, he went
okay.
to
So I heard he played. So I was thinking, we got the first black pope. So I was excited. Then I found out it wasn't the case.
That was not the case. Do you think they'd ever let that happen?
No.
I don't think so. Either.
No, they don't want a pope named Pope Roscoe the First or anything like that.
No Pope Raekwon.
And they don't want the pope at the end of sermon screaming. You know how they do it in the church, man. They be killing it.
I think the first black pope would be a version of Jerry. Just a bright skinned, light skinned fellow.
You know what Jerry looks like? Seriously, you know what Jerry looks like?
Who?
He looks like one of those boxers back in the 1920s.
You kind of do.
He does.
Yeah.
That they always put a white guy up against hoping to beat him and to be the
happened.
next great white hope, and they don't do it.
Yeah,
And he wins.
You actually
Don't
look
you
like
look like he was
one.
born in the 1920s?
You do look like you were born in the 1920s. He does have an old soul. I can't lie. Even as a kid, he listened to Michael Jackson, all that stuff.
Oh, I loved it. That was my stuff. I loved Michael Jackson.
He's a goat. There's some stuff behind it.
How old is he? Is he 22 or is he 92?
He is. How about you tell everybody?
I am 19.
19.
Going on 55.
Going on 55. We were at the last Pistons playoff game, elimination game, Game 6, and we went down to the bar because we had some nosebleeds. We got like last minute.
Sure.
And it was honestly we enjoyed it better at the bar, so we just stuck there. But after the game, this like 40-year-old like cougar came up, and she was in predatory mode. She was all over young Jerry.
I can believe them 40, 50-year-old women will be after him. Like, oh, I'm gonna teach him something.
Listen, I told him if he wants him, that's him. For me, trying to hook it up, it felt weird. I felt like I was feeding him to like a real cougar. He's just so young.
I've done the cougar thing before when I was
we all
young. It's
have.
great.
You got to.
I mean, he would have been a good
She was
hands.
pretty.
Yo, she was definitely
She was
pretty. She got it.
beautiful.
She had some
Would you
assets.
have?
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
you stepped in the way.
No, I didn't.
No,
I
he didn't.
I was trying to keep it going, but then I felt weird. I was like, I'll let him guide the rest of the way through.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
'cause-
if he wants
The journey
out, he
ends-
knows how
yeah.
to eject.
Yeah.
yeah. It felt like a real like predatory moment though, because he's 19. You know.
I know, but man, them old women, man, they go after you. See, here's the evolution of women. Everybody says I got to get a 20-year-old woman. You don't want that. I tell you why. Because the 20-year-old woman, she's like, you got competition. She's pretty.
Yeah.
She thinks
She specs too much.
she's special, right? Then they get in their 30s, they get a little bit desperate. They're like, hey, I'm not as cute as I was before. I'm still pretty, but they'll compromise for you.
Yeah.
And then when they're 40s, man, they buy you dinner, they buy you airplane tickets, they take you around the world. Especially a guy like you.
Yeah, bro. She was loaded. She
Oh, for
worked
sure.
for Rolex. Yeah,
I don't want to know. Don't get too easy
yeah,
out there.
You know where you need to take this, brother?
Where?
Andiamo.
Where's that? Where at?
The one in Bloomfield Hills, man. Them old women be all over you, bro. You'll be going to Tahiti, Australia. I mean, they're gonna pick up your dinner,
You'll be like an IG thought. Getting
Bro,
flown out.
that's so funny.
and you don't have to do anything but just look cute.
Was he got dressed a certain way?
No. He's got this little muscle shirt on. That's good enough.
Yeah.
You don't have to dress up. You don't have to put on a suit. Women be all over you, but all over this brother.
Do you like the because he's still not old enough to be at the bar though? Like, what do you just walk around?
They got the high chairs or the high seats.
Give a kitty chair.
Right. Put a little bib on them.
Yeah, I didn't know how to feel about that moment because it was like obviously she was hot, you know. Mm-hmm. But it was also like the age gap. I don't know. I never dealt with him.
You
like
can
that.
still tear it up. You know what you need to do?
Grow some
Seriously.
hair?
Nah, you don't need.
Nah,
No. Women don't. They don't need hair. They like bald dudes now.
Honestly, they do.
Mm-hmm.
I've been
But
told.
I'm telling you, man, you could drop it. You still can.
Oh, I
you
don't.
got the cute little cheeks and everything. Here's what. Now the Tigers are hot, right?
Yeah.
Here's what's happening, or what's going to happen this weekend.
Yeah.
Go to the Tiger Den or the Pepsi Porch or whatever it is out there.
Yeah.
Women are all out there. They're tanning. They love you, man.
What I just tell him last night? I told him last night, take a girl to the Tigers game. That's confirmation.
Right.
Now you got to lock
Do
it
it. And the Tigers are hot. Because the Tigers are hot, there's going to be more women out there. Is it still the Pepsi Porch, or they call it?
Still the Pepsi Porch.
Okay,
yeah.
Pepsi Porch. They'll be out there,
Vibes
man.
are high.
Yeah.
Do you
And-
still get laid if you lose the game? They lose the game?
Oh, yeah.
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 As long as you're
It's
They're leaving with something.
I'm leaving him something.
no, it's that pity sex. You know,
Yeah,
they're unhappy, but as long as you're happy,
Yeah.
that's all that matters.
So you can take it out on me, baby.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds good for me.
Oh, and they love the ball head. They be grabbing me by the head like a beach ball, like bam.
Dribbling me.
Now you think I'm serious?
I know you're serious. Listen, hey Terry, I've had a ball head for a minute now. Probably what, 2-3 years, maybe longer. I know. You know, I've I've had
Dude,
some experiences.
you know what? When I start losing my hair, I start crying.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get any.
I think I will,
women.
too.
And then I went to this bar. It was out in Novi and stuff. And some white women asked, "Hey, can we rub your head?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, shoot,
Good
go
luck.
ahead." And they rubbed it for like 10, 15 minutes.
'Cause I
Got a
had,
couple phone numbers.
I was in like 8th grade. I had an afro up until like probably halfway through my freshman year, maybe after. Did you meet me when I had it or no?
No, it
after?
wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't quite like that at that
But-
point.
I went to a white school. That's what the girls always ask, like,
Yeah.
because I had my pick. And they'd be like, can we pick your hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, that's the thing. It's one of two things. Like, it's definitely cool to be bald. And it's definitely cool to have great hair, but you can't be like that in between, like
No.
just average or
No.
like nothing stylish about it.
I swear though, I did have one girl tell me that she preferred it when I was like, when you could tell I was bald, and I was like, no, I'm not. I can't do that. But
Yeah.
you're 100%. You can't have that. I don't
Yeah.
understand that. The hair curtains. Like what are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, you talking
Let
about
it
the
go.
swoop?
No, they
brothers
no,
don't do
the curtains
swoops.
just like the hair on the sides. Like, what are you doing?
No, this
Yeah.
is the bozo.
Yeah.
I hate the
it's
bozo.
literal clown hair.
Right.
It looks like where an eagle nests.
What are you doing? Like, just shaved your head.
No,
Like, you're just too lazy
no,
to shave?
seriously. You know who the biggest clowns with the bozo? It's white guys. White
Yeah.
guys used to be afraid to shave their heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every white guy I saw with a bozo, I said, dude, take the bic.
I think it's
Yeah.
I think it's because some white people got that reputation of like you seen a couple crazy people that were bald headed white. So I think it was
true.
like I think it
That's
was
true.
like
No,
all right.
no white guys used to be bald out there.
You know I
That's fair.
respect our white friends, but
Yeah.
why do you want to go around looking like Bozo the Clown?
I think
I
what
can't
he's
speak for
trying to
that.
say
I got
though is like
beautiful hair.
you have
I
the
can't
option
speak for
between
that.
Bozo the Clown or skinhead. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Y'all got to.
Yeah.
Well, stop being so damn racist, and we won't call you skinheads. Damn.
Yeah, I feel like because they're all you gotta keep a little something. You know what I'm saying? Not for a white dude, you gotta keep a little like.
No, dude, don't do the Thibodeau either, man. Let that
No,
shit go.
not the Thibodeau. God, no. I'm talking about just where it's like almost like a fade. You know what I'm saying? Like all the way around.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
If
A buzz.
if you
That's
can
To avoid the skinhead
It's actually like
accusations.
people my age are getting buzzes now. It's crazy.
That's the thing.
Yeah, like people are getting buzzes. and-
Trendsetter.
Yeah, like my age.
That's crazy.
But look
That's,
at me. He got the Fabio going on.
Yeah,
man.
I got.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Don't cut your
I'll
hair.
cry when I get my hair. I lose my hair.
You got the broccoli going on. That's the do now for young kids.
Yeah.
The broccoli hair.
I think the man bun is like kind of growing out though. I think
Oh,
that's
thank
done.
God. That was
I think
an awful
that
phase.
was that. I never subscribed to that. Like that.
No.
That shit always looked goofy to me.
You didn't do
I
the
agree.
buys, did you?
No, I've honestly kept it variations of this. You know, like variations,
You
just
got a
wavy.
good head of hair. You don't need
Yeah.
to shave it.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
good lettuce.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure. I got it, and I know I'm gonna be like that because my grandma, God rest her soul, died 90s, full head of hair, afro, everything. My dad, he's got the waves, and he's got black hair, so it's like streaks of gray now. It's like a little salt and pepper look. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere with the hair. It's about all I got.
Paper Chungus is balding mullets are Chad better than the or I think he's trying to say they're better than the broccoli hair. Balding mullets.
Oh, they even got a little thing for you called bold and beautiful.
Bald and
Yeah.
beautiful.
It's bald and something.
I think
Bald. No, it's called bald and bold. You put it on your head. But I don't want my head.
They got the I know you're talking about. You put like the hair on
Yeah.
top.
No.
Oh.
You put it on your bald head and it makes it more like a bowling ball. But I don't want my head shining.
What?
It's
That's
supposed
crazy.
to shine.
You got
I don't want that.
polishing-
I don't
you
want
got
that
polishing
either.
on your head. That's crazy.
So I used to work at this AT&T actually down the road over there in Ferndale, and I had this one guy on like a hair salon, and he got this new product where like if you have your hair grown out, they'll like how women do the fake hair, they could do that for the men on like the hair you got left. They give you like a full like fro piece, and they cut it into like a normal. It looks like a real like haircut. I didn't want to do it though.
Well,
I'm like,
and you also they got the dot. It's like a spray paint you put on.
Yeah.
I used to work at the Lindell AC. The barber there was bald and nobody knew it, but he would put his hair together and then he put this black stuff on. It looked like he had a full head of hair.
Beijing or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
Now I asked
some
my
people get
wife.
tattoos. Some people tattoo.
Yeah, I know.
little-
I asked
yeah.
my wife, does she want me to get a hair thing, where they transplant or?
Yeah.
And she said, "No, I like you bald."
Yeah.
Now, was she lying?
No.
Or was she telling the truth?
She's telling the truth.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah, she would have made you get it.
Yeah.
You know them. Mm-hmm. They'll be honest with us.
Yeah.
They got no problem being honest with us.
Right.
I'll tell you what, if we get, because it's a Friday show, and on Fridays are usually slower because people are driving home and going out to the bars and stuff like that. If we get 200 likes, I'll get the fake hair. I never want to do it because people already know I'm bald. It'd be stupid to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like if I came in with hair, everyone would know that's not your hair.
Everybody be like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Oh,
You
man.
know what I'm saying?
And the first time they see you, they're going to embarrass you. You remember there's a sports broadcaster named Frank Beckman.
Uh-huh.
He's dead now.
Rest in peace.
But he was balding, and so he wanted to continue his career on television. So he thought
I'll have to look him up.
he should get a hairpiece. So he got a hairpiece, came into the Pistons locker room, and as soon as he walked in, we heard this across the what the fuck?
Yeah.
It was Bill Lambier dogging him because of his new hairpiece. I said, Bill, leave him alone. The man is just trying to spice it up a little bit. He says, he's bald. I can't look at him with a raccoon on top of his head.
Yeah, dude. I don't get it. Everyone knows you're bald. Like you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we got modern technology. We got new stuff.
Yeah. It is crazy. We're at a point in life where, I guess they can get you go to Turkey, get the hair stuff done, but like, you got people changing genders and stuff like that. But we still haven't solved.
Men's hair.
Yeah, we still haven't solved men's baldness or pattern.
Dude, we
baldness,
got
whatever
AI.
it's
We can't get.
You know what they can do to you?
called. What?
Are you losing your hair or you just bick it?
I'm like 5'7". You know, so I'm not tall, so like it's a little thin up there.
Okay.
Everyone can see.
But you still got hair, though.
Yeah, I could grow it out if I want.
What they can do is called scalp reduction. They can take your head and they put like a line there, and then they take this and move it up, and then they take it out and then move it up, and then you have a
good.
full head of hair.
I just don't want surgery either.
No, see that
I don't
sounds
want it. Yeah.
that sounds so crazy.
That's just tripping to me,
Yeah.
like just like being like unconscious, someone like
Just
inside of your body. Pause. Like,
repasting your head.
there was a doctor. You guys know this? There was a doctor that used to, when he would do the limb replacement, he would take a laser and he'd carve his initials into like the organ that he
that's
was putting in the
nasty.
person's body. And then one day he messed up. I think he put the wrong piece in or something like that, and that's how it got discovered. Because the other doctor who was saving the person's life was like, JRM, like who the hell? Like what the fuck? And this guy was carving his initials and just putting it in people. Like that's insane. Like, I'm
That's-
good, bro. I
that's
don't want
sick.
no like I almost want a race joke there. We're gonna avoid that one. Let's go to break.
all right. Do you need me to tell you what the breaks are?
Bash Sheets full name on my fucking lung back in there. Let me tell you guys about Mark White. MarkWhiteSells.com is the website. If you guys like to save up to $5,000 on the closing cost of your brand new home, hit up my guy Mark White, 248-290-8242, or visit him at MarkWhiteSells.com. That's 248-290-8242, or visit him at MarkWhiteSells.com.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won.
This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 locations in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, friendly and knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. They don't care what kind of hair you got. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? Want all the perks? Upgrade to the PF Black Card and enjoy use of amenities such as unlimited use of Black Card Spa, hydro massage, and hydro massage chairs, total body enhancement, and more, with access to over 2,500 locations across the world. Visit www.planetfitness.com.
You know what else is good about Planet Fitness?
What's up?
Talking about no judgment.
Yeah.
All us old people would work out at the same time, and nobody laughed at us.
Yeah.
They're like, go, old fella, go.
Yeah, it gets you guys out the damn malls.
Yeah, you
walking
can't-
in the mornings.
You can't
but
really though.
You're not. Are you in the mall at 8:30 in the morning?
I'm not, but
then why do you care? Let us walk the damn mall.
There was one instance though. There was one incident where
You got into a fight with an old person at the mall.
man, I beat the shit out of him. I'm playing.
That's wrong. That's wrong,
I'm
man.
playing.
He cut in front of me.
We were in line for some athlete. It was at Macomb Mall back in the day, and so obviously you know how those lines get big for like
Yeah.
the signatures and stuff
Right.
like that. And the old people just kept trying to butt through they're power walking through the line. We're like, yo, come on, like,
Move the line.
move your ass somewhere. Go outside.
No. It was probably cold outside. It was snow. Do you want the old people walking out in the snow and the ice and breaking their legs and stuff?
Listen, Terry, we gotta solve Social Security somehow. Not playing.
Hey, don't take my Social Security away. I'm serious about that.
No, for sure. I'm jealous. I ain't gonna have none by the time I catch up.
Oh,
to
you won't have any. Oh,
No, I ain't
damn.
gonna have none.
I'm getting mine though.
I know.
I put too much money into it.
That's the other. Yeah, that's the part where for us it sucks.
Yeah.
Paying the damn money, we ain't gonna get none. But that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother show. Let alone.
Well, you got
conversation.
lawyers. You guys will sue and you'll get your money. Don't
Yeah,
worry
we'll figure
about it.
something out. I mean, the government just prints money if they really want to anyway. I need some advice real quick before we do get into sports, or we can drop into sports. Don't matter to me.
I'm here for you, buddy. Whatever you need.
I have nothing planned for Mother's Day. I know you said you're
man.
cooking, but I know you've been in this. You had to have been in this situation at some point.
Yeah. Mother's Day is not a necessity. Here's what you can do. Get mama a card and some flowers. You're good.
Should be good.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
when she comes back and says, well, I don't want anything for Christmas, don't listen to her. You go out and get her a nice gift. But for Mother's Day, and are we talking about your mama or
My baby mom.
your baby mama? Yeah, she don't need anything but a card,
Yeah.
a pat on the ass.
I'm gonna get her a cup that says "World's Best Dad."
Yeah.
That's all I get.
She's stubborn anyway. She's like
Yeah,
my mom.
world's best
So-
mom. No,
Yeah.
you probably got a tie that you never wear.
Yeah, I got actually. I did get one year. It was a wallet. I still got this day, but it's now it's busted down. I gotta get a new one. That's probably the coolest one.
Yeah, my daughter Celine got me a necktie with palm trees on it.
You ever wear it?
Yes, of course. If I got it from you, I would never wear it. But I got it from her, had to wear it, and I liked it.
I want to ask you, because you've lived through every version of the successful Pistons, from the bad boys to going to work, and now we're kind of coming up on a new generation of
Right, it is.
What should they do? Because we've been having the conversation all week. Do we add a piece? Because I know the Mark Aguirre stuff from the bad boys. Obviously, the 04 Pistons were all from the Island of Lost Toys. But now this version of the Detroit Pistons, Cade needs somebody else alongside him. I think that was proven in the playoffs.
It was.
Do we wait to see if it's Ivy? Or do we
You
go grab
always add to a team because if you bring back the entire team intact, A, they get a little bit bored. A, there's a little bit less hunger, and then the fans are like, okay, well you went to the first round, you're gonna go to the second round this time, but that may not happen because there's you get stale, and it's just human nature. You can't help it. You get stale. Here's another thing. And athletes always deny this, but this is true. If you give somebody a big contract, they lose a little bit of hunger. So now some Pistons dudes, they're going to get some money. They've been together. They're comfortable together. So, yeah, you have to shock the locker room a little bit. And but I tell you one dude I don't want to bring in, Zion Williamson. I'm not interested. Not interested in bringing a dude.
Because he's black?
Huh?
Because he's black? I'm playing.
No, because he can't stay healthy.
Nah, yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah, no.
He got bad feet. He's fat. And I love our fat people.
I was going to say, hold on now.
But not on the Pistons, though.
I'm with you.
I love that he made that point because we kind of talked about that yesterday with Clowney. Like,
Yeah.
bringing him here, it awakens a competition and a hunger in the people who are there already. Because at the end of the day, it's a job. You're fighting for your job. Like, you want to go play, like you got to go through the people that are already there. So you bring a new guy in and kind of give him a little bit of favoritism. The guys that are already there and comfortable, it makes them uncomfortable. So if you bring a new guy in, that hunger rises. I love that he brought
Plus,
that
if you
up.
do it, you probably have to give up Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, a draft pick here and there.
So you're talking about getting somebody like
Do you
big.
really want to do that?
So what kind of piece should they add, though? Like
I'm
just thinking of like what he said and what you said. Like thinking about adding a piece. I know everyone's thinking trade, which I'm not opposed to, by the way. But I'm looking at the Lions, how they grab like guys with chips on their shoulder. I'm thinking about even the going to work, like Ben Wallace chip on his shoulder, Chauncey chip on his shoulder. I think we should grab a guy in a second contract who has something to prove and it wasn't necessarily like the guy in his previous team. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know who's out there. I don't have no names.
I mean, like a Jabari Smith, like we mentioned.
Jabari Smith would be one.
Is coming off the bench as a sixth man. Like,
Yeah.
he's a free agent. You got
What about Laurie Miketon?
He'd be a good piece. That stretch four.
Stretch four.
He
I'd be
just
down. We get to trade for him, though, wouldn't you?
the only problem with trading for Laurie Marketing is his GM Danny Ainge, and Danny Ainge he's a mean son of a bitch. You're not getting him for anything less than 160 cents on the dollar. Like he is gonna nickel and dime you in every single trade. That is how he does. They're in a position where they don't need to get rid of him. They could just keep tanking and benching him. He's a damn good player. He fits exactly what the Pistons need, which is shooting at the 4 and potentially the 5.
But Debbie Downer, you can make the phone call, can't you?
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying you make the call, absolutely. But I'm saying you make the call. But I'm just saying I wouldn't expect it.
he wants too much. If you're gonna bring in a good player, you got to give up a lot.
So, but you're okay with that as opposed to right now seeing at least for another year what these young guys got, or are you ready to make that move right now?
You got to make a run in the playoffs next year. People aren't going to be satisfied with the Pistons making the playoffs and then winning the first round and then losing. You got to do better than that because the Boston Celtics might get broken up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Boston Celtics. Nobody can beat the Boston Celtics when they're down 2-0 to the Knicks. The Knicks are good, but are they great? Milwaukee is not going to have the Greek freak. So your opportunity is there next year. So you got to have all your chips in. But you know how it is here in Detroit. Well, we got to be cautious. We don't want to, upset the apple cart. So, we're bringing Eazy. Bring Eazy in off the bench. He can get you 4 or 5 points a game. So we here in Detroit, we are stuck with a bunch of dudes running teams. And I'm not saying they're all doing a bad job, but it's like no urgency. Maybe it's time for the fans to say, you know what? We're sick of this. Do something. Because here's what they always hide behind. Well, it might help us short term, but we're looking for the long term. No. If you got an opportunity to win a championship next year, or at least get to the Eastern Conference Finals, you do it.
Yeah.
I don't care about 6 years down the road. In fact, I'll tell you the guy I would bring in, and you're going to say, gee, well, he's not going to last very long because he's old. What about KD?
All day. Listen. I've been Team KD for how many years now, Chris?
For I'd say a year and a half, probably, or two.
It's been. Listen, like that would be. I would love KD. And
2 years because it was before he went to Phoenix.
Can you imagine a pick and pop with Cade Cunningham and
And
Kevin
he
Durant?
loves Cade.
Yeah.
He loves Cade.
Yeah,
I don't care how old
talks
he
about
is.
Cade
He's
all the
talked
time.
him up.
Yeah.
Maybe he wants to come here.
He's talked him up.
Because one of the problems is nobody wants to come to Detroit.
Yes. Trajan Langdon said that in his presser the other day.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, if we do it, it's probably going to be through a trade because I don't know that anybody's going to come here right now.
Until they get here, then they're like, hey, this place is not so bad.
Yeah.
Cade helps with that a lot, man. Having an unselfish superstar, that is something that attracts a lot of people. Is going to attract, is going to attract a lot of people. So I'm with you, Terry, because I'm not opposed to fully letting this team get one more year just to see which guys you like more than the rest to keep, because you don't have to trade them all. You can trade a few of them. But the reason I am down to make that trade is because let's go back about 8-9 years. Remember that Pistons team? You had Reggie Jackson, 25, Andre Drummond, 22, Stanley Johnson, 19, Tobias Harris, 24. And everybody was like, don't make a move. KCP, 23. We got a whole bunch of guys that are going to be something. And guess what they were? They were never better than a first-round team. So while I think that some of these players have higher potential than some of those players, I'm definitely making a trade for a Giannis if it costs 2 All-Stars or 2 potential All-Stars. Because guess what? At the end of the day, if you're doing the math, would you give up 2 All-Stars for an MVP candidate? Yes, you would.
Yeah.
You would.
Okay,
so
you're
like,
too optimistic over here. Tell me, besides Cade Cunningham, who are the All-Stars on this team?
oh, I'm saying,
who are going
I'm
to
saying
be All-Stars?
I'm saying potential. That's why I'm good with getting rid of them.
Who's going to be an All-Star 5 years from now?
I think the only people that you can right now comfortably say flash that potential is Ivy and Duran, and I think you don't know enough about Asar and Holland yet. So, but that's why I'm good with getting rid of them, because we wanted to hold on to Stanley Johnson because we thought he was going to be a franchise cornerstone. Wasn't. We wanted to hold on to KCP. What was KCP? A good player, but a role player, not a star.
Right.
We could have sold him at that time for, a star. Like, he could have been at one point a package for a big, big piece. But we held on to him. He didn't turn out that way. So that's why you make the move if it's there. If it's there for a Devin Booker, for a Giannis Antetokounmpo, some Lauri Markkanen, and the price is right, you absolutely do that move, because at the end of the day, you're betting on the potential of these guys rather than not. So if you want to say no to a Giannis trade, well then guess what? Ivy better be making some All-NBAs. Duran better be making some All-NBAs, or else you lost that
And Duran
opportunity.
better be hitting some jump shots, too.
Yeah, so
But let me tell you about your boy, Stanley Johnson.
That's not my boy. Hold
That's
on.
your boy.
Don't put that stain on me. Don't
y'all
put
was
that
saying he
stain
could
on
play.
me.
You know, 13
No.
he was fucking loving Stanley
His
Johnson.
rookie year, they had the rookie camp in Orlando in a small gym. And after day 3, I want to write my column. This dude can't play.
Oh, damn.
He's getting pushed around. He was weak. You could push him off the ball. He couldn't shoot. The only reason I didn't, because this dude talked so much shit.
He did.
He's like, I can do this. I can, blah, blah, blah. This is,
Should have
this
played
is,
football, honestly.
yeah, this is beneath me. This is just a rookie league. I'm going to show you. That's the only reason I didn't do it. Because, man, this dude had me convinced that my eyes were lying to me.
He had a lot of people convinced,
Yeah.
He did.
But he couldn't play.
including the Pistons.
Yeah.
Right.
My only counterpoint, and I could actually even argue this, is the Pistons kind of did do that after that when they traded for Blake Griffin. But the thing is, you got to be careful who you grab.
Yeah, but
it's like Terry's saying with Zion, don't grab Zion.
Yeah.
I know Zion's younger than Blake Griffin, but in basketball years, his knees are the same age as Blake Griffin.
Even further,
Blake Griffin couldn't stay healthy for you. Zion's gonna be the exact same thing.
He's a less.
They did make that trade, but in my opinion, and you know me and you go back and forth all the time because you still rock the jersey to this day. I hated that trade. Yeah. I hated the Blake Griffin trade.
I mean, I just appreciated. I just appreciated the 1 year he balled out for us. But what I'll say, Eazy, is the big difference in that is Andre Drummond, Kate Cunningham. That's the difference. Like, you can go get a Blake who can be a number 2.
That's what I'm saying. That's the one. That's the counterpoint I had in the back pocket was you got Kate Cunningham.
Yeah, like Kate is a franchise player. Drummond was never a franchise player. We were just desperate enough to make him one.
Right. Now, this is just me talking. You guys can dispute this if you want. I don't think they traded for Blake Griffin to become better. Here's what I think. I think Tom Gores, who is still, I'm going to call him a bad owner, despite what the Pistons did this year. I think he was out there. He was in California having a good time, having some martinis, getting drunk. And one day he went with Blake to the Clippers locker room and said, hey, Blake, if we trade for you in Detroit, are you going to become an ass, or are you going to play ball and play as hard as you can? And he said, yeah, I'll do that. So I'm convinced Tom Gores negotiated or orchestrated the Blake Griffin. Right.
For sure that was his move because he wanted to star.
Yeah, he wanted a name.
Yeah. And he wanted to sell some tickets. Yeah. Well, I think he genuinely thought they were going to win too. I do think Tom cares about winning. He just doesn't make. He's not a basketball guy. He's not making basketball moves.
I think he's learning basketball.
He's learning basketball.
Or
at
least
has at least conceded to basketball minds finally. Yeah. Trajan Langdon and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know the scary thing when they hired Trajan Langdon, I thought, man, this dude's really got it together.
Yeah.
When Tom Gores got it and said, yeah, I'm gonna teach Trajan how to.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you ain't gonna teach him anything. Get out of here,
Terry.
I don't think I'll ever forget the introductory press conference from Monty Williams and how pissed off Troy Weaver looked that entire time.
Yeah.
He did not want to hire Monty Williams as the coach. And then they asked Troy, they're like, can you tell us how Monty's gonna turn things around and you start winning games? He literally was like, ask Tom. He didn't want to answer that question. He's like, I think you should ask Tom that question.
No, the one thing I'll never forget about Trajan Langdon's press conference is the simple fact that he's like, thank you, Tom Gores. I appreciate that. I've never been interviewed at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah,
right. And I was like, okay, this guy, Tom Gores, was wild. And it was like, get him on the phone
Tom's
right now.
at 4 a.m. Like, we're going to start a food truck business.
For Tom, happy hour ends at 4 a.m. So that's why he got the phone call at 4 a.m.
Yeah. That was crazy to me. When Trajan said that, I was like,
I was nervous as hell, honestly, when I heard that part. The thing, too, is like, we still don't even know what Trajan really can do yet because he was kind of thrown in the mix very late in the process. Like 2 weeks before the draft, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he didn't even get to do much, and scout the team. I think now I have an idea of what he's going to do. And the fact that he's not giving Duren or Ivy a contract, I do think a trade, maybe not this offseason, but in season, might be coming.
Or it's probably coming. I think he knows that you can't bring the entire team back. There's got to be some type of shakeup. And plus the other thing, I know players hate when there's trades, but you got to keep them on edge.
Yeah.
You got to like, okay, if you don't perform, you could be gone.
Yeah.
And I think you could send that email to everybody except Kate Cunningham. You're the only one we're not going to trade, but everybody else, you could be out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think the Pistons fans that are like no to everything are foolish. I get the idea of giving it a year to see which guys you really feel comfortable about because they are young guys. But I'm saying though, you absolutely take the call for Giannis, you take the call for Laurie, you take the call for Devin Booker, you take these calls. That's the issue I have with Pistons fans is the ones that say, hang up the phone, disconnect it, don't answer it. No, you got to be like two-phone Joe Dumars back in the day. You got to have both of them ready to go in case one of those guys is available.
And you know what I'd buy? Call. I'd buy a third ear and stick it in the back of my head and have 3 phones up there. Yeah, you got to do that. You can't play it safe.
You can't
when you're this good. And by this good, what I mean is you are a threat to win every night in the regular season.
Yeah,
you're probably not a threat to get past the second round during the playoffs.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out what must we do to get into that point. Here's the other thing we don't know. We don't know if Jaden Ivey can hit a 3-pointer during the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, Beasley, the dude was automatic until the playoffs started.
Yeah.
It's a different animal. And I know you hate this guy.
Who?
But
Jaden Ivey?
Huh?
Jaden Ivey?
No, you like him. You
no.
like all the Pistons. I'm talking about a man in New York.
Cat.
Josh Hart?
No.
Jalen Brunson?
Brunson. I know you, but this dude, he got balls.
Yeah.
He can ball.
Yeah,
Right.
Kid.
I mean,
It was that last shot he hit on Amon-Ra. I was like, okay.
But
I concede.
that's where you can like start to really talk yourself into it because look, New York obviously was a winnable series. Boston doesn't look that great. They're losing to New York right now. Cleveland and Indiana. Cleveland was always fraud. They were always fraudulent. That's why I was pissed they took every fucking award from us. And then
Insane.
on top of that, you have Indiana, who is a good team. We all acknowledge is a good team. But you're going to sit here and say that's unbeatable? No, like this Piston team could very realistically, with either a lot of internal growth or a big move next season, be an actual contender. They have the recipe. This Eastern Conference does not look as menacing. There is no Golden State Warriors peak dynasty. There is no LeBron Miami Heat dynasty that's like reigning over this conference where all you're doing is competing for second place. This conference is pretty damn open going into the future.
And you got the defending champions who are on the ropes. Milwaukee brought in the piece. They thought they were going to be that team to take over for Boston. That didn't happen. So, and you know they brought in Lillard. They thought if we can put him in, that would invigorate this locker room. But it didn't work. Mm-hmm. So,
couldn't stay healthy.
But you have to try, huh?
Yeah, he couldn't stay healthy either, Lillard.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got to bring somebody in. Got to keep those fingers crossed.
Is this a crazy comp? Because a lot of Pistons fans hate me because I'm not the biggest Jaden Ivey guy. I don't think he's. I think he's flash potential, but I think he's better suited with his own team versus trying to fit in with Cade because I think he needs the ball to be productive. So I'm like, we just went on a playoff run without him. That's your piece. So you
did not make a playoff run.
Well, you didn't win the playoff series, correct? But
Okay, you got to win a series to call it a run.
That's fair.
You won 2 games.
That's fair.
It's not a playoff run, bro.
But you made the playoffs there.
Okay.
You were under 500 with them. Could that be your Adrian Dantley piece the Pistons traded to get Mark Aguirre to go on their championship run?
Well, they made that run because Adrian Dantley wanted to tear up the locker room.
Because he wanted to be the guy.
Yeah, he wanted to be the guy. I don't think Jaden Ivey's like,
No,
I
he's
hate
not.
Cade Cunningham.
I think he's a great guy, honestly.
Don't let me catch him in the parking lot because I'm going to –
Adrian Dantley was like that?
Oh, yeah, he hated Isaiah.
Who would have won that fight, you think?
Huh?
One-on-one, who would have won that fight?
That's a tough one.
Because Dantley's bigger.
He's bigger. Isaiah was just like
Scrappy.
sneaky and stuff. And he was from the west side of Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
So if
Isaiah.
you were from the west side of Chicago, you got to know something.
Yeah.
And plus, Isaiah always made this fatal mistake. He'd always hit dudes in the back of the head. And when he did that, he'd break his hand. And Adrian Dantley had a big, hard head.
That's definitely some west side Chicago stuff.
We didn't say they're the brightest people in the world, but they tough.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I just I obviously I think they're gonna give it this beginning of the season up until the deadline to see like what it looks like. Because I will say this for Ivy, Asar wasn't healthy when he was playing, but the Pistons were under 500 when he was starting this team, and the Pistons won playoff games when he wasn't. Jumped all the way to the 6th seed. Skip a play-in. They didn't have to mess around with that. They were in the playoffs. So I think it's an expendable piece if you want to go make that extra splash move that you're talking about to be an actual contender or in the conversation, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one. Because if you trade Jaden Ivey, maybe Ivey is a dude that has a little bit more guts than the other dudes during a playoff situation. Now, I know here in Detroit, we like to say the Pistons almost beat the New York Knicks. But here's why they weren't going to beat them. Brunson was going to make the big shot in the final 10 seconds no matter what. Mm-hmm. I've talked to a bunch of NBA players. Now, they said anybody can hit a 20-foot jumper with 8 minutes and 56 seconds left in the third quarter. But in the last 30 seconds of a tight ball game, that basketball turns into a pumpkin or a pineapple. And it's just the ball doesn't spin just right. You short arm stuff and everything. You're nervous. But Brunson, man, this dude is like, give me that opportunity. I'm hitting this shot. And if I don't, I got Cat there. Cat got some balls too.
Yeah. We saw him come this series.
And
I still like him.
Cade Cunningham's still growing.
Yeah.
Now we talk about the big shot where Hardaway was fouled, and he was fouled. Hart admitted he fouled him, but before that, Cade had a wide open shot in the lane and bricked it. That's his maturation. So okay, I had the opportunity to hit the shot, I couldn't do it. You know who else couldn't do it? Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest players of all time. He was bricking shots his first and second years in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Not in the regular season. He busted. But I remember I forget who they playing. He had like 6 shots and he missed them all.
That's
He airballed one of them at the end. I forgot who
he did.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was,
and one barely skimmed
yeah.
the rim. Went,
yeah, I think that's kind of gross. A lot of people trying to bash Cade for that playoff series, his first playoff series, and we've seen the greats have lesser, performances in those moments. But we do have to go to break, pay some bills. Chris, you want to tell us about White Claw?
Yes, I will. I will tell you about White
when
Claw.
I feel like it.
Yeah, I'll tell you
got
about
attitude.
White Claw. Yeah. I'll tell you about White Claw. White Claw calling all Tigers fan joins for White Claw Tigers watch party. Woodward Sports will be hitting 4 of the top bars in Detroit to watch the Tigers game live on the network. Join the Woodward Heavies as we hit McShane's Irish Pub, Nemo's Bar, Second Best, and Old Miami. Be a part of the fun. See our reactions live on Woodward Sports to one of the hottest teams in baseball. Join Eazy, Spencer, myself, young Nick. We got Jerry as well. We'll be there. Make sure you are tapped in. It's a White Claw watch party brought to you by East Downtown Distributors and Venn Johnson Law.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Les Stanford Buick and GMC has great offers for everyone. Get a 2025 Envision Preferred all-wheel drive for only $259 per month, or try out the 2025 Sierra Double Cab Elevation for only $169 per month. Don't forget about the 2025 Hummer EV SUV for only $699 per month. Get to Les Stanford today and check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford Buick and GMC. Visit lesstanford.com. What up, though? Welcome, mate. World Heavyweights Live on sports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by Terry Foster, the legend, young Chris, young Jerry, a.k.a. what'd you call Jerry? Joe Lewis. Joe Lewis in the building.
Joe Lewis over there, man.
Smash that like button, be a friend, tell a friend, share a stream. Where you have the Ivy and Cade fit? Like,
we had the debate, can they play together? Yes. If you have a coaching staff who's competent,
yeah,
they can eventually get them to play together. Because if this thing is going to work, they're going to have to do that. I think Ivy and Cade know that if they get the right direction, this can work. I know Ivy's a scatterbug, and you probably don't like that. You like to be a little bit more controlled. But here's how I think they should use them. I think they should play them together at the end of games. But I also think during the late second, maybe the third quarters, they shouldn't play together. They could have Ivy play at a more elevated pace than Cade Cunningham. So what you do is now you tell another team, oh, we're going to run a little bit. Yeah, we're going to be a little bit scatterbrained, but what you going to do about it? And then you bring in Cade, who's a little bit more cerebral, and so you can change up tempo during the game. And at the end, play them together because these are going to be two of your best players. That's what I would do.
What do you make of the fact that they were 17 and 19 with Ivy and Cade? Ivy and Cade played together the first half of that season. They're under 500. They're not in the playoffs. Ivy goes down. They then go 30 and 20.
But they were winning before he went down, and then they went 30 and 20.
But still under 500.
But they started to win
sample size. Then without him, they're winning way more.
You also don't have Asar during that time too. He was
which
injured,
I always say is fair.
Which that makes a difference 100% on the defensive end. And you put him and Ivy in the backcourt because I think Ivy's defense improved before he got hurt compared to last season when he played. You put those two together in the backcourt for defense, I feel like we win a couple more games.
Yeah, I think this is one to put Chris on. I do see some. I remember seeing some numbers somewhere on X, and they actually weren't that dramatic. But like how much of an impact did Malik Beasley make after Ivy went down? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause obviously he had to play a lot more minutes at that point.
Yeah,
like that's what I want to see too. Because that's always been my argument with Cade is I want him. I like the heliocentric factor. Like give him shooters. And I think that's what we saw in that second half. We got the defense. And we got the shooting around him, and then they won more games.
But I think, but I think that also, Ivy can fit within that. He just has to find his way, and I think they were trending that way. I think Asar getting better, like you said, helped a lot. Duren improved, and I don't think we know enough to say that those two things happened because Ivy wasn't there. Now, if they happened because Ivy wasn't there, then okay, then you have your answer. You need to move on from Ivy because he's stunting not only Cade Cunningham but also Asar and Duren. But we don't know that right now. It's too early to tell, and I'm prepared for next season to maybe start a little rocky when the guys are trying to find their footing together. So let's judge this team January, February, and let's see where they're at. That's where I'm at with it because I love what Terry brought up because you know what that reminds me of. That like changing the pace and dynamic, what the Detroit Lions do with their run game, right? They have their ground and pound moments, they have their ground and pound drives with Montgomery, and then they have their Gibbs drives, right? Where Gibbs is just absolutely electric. You can do different things. It's a total different change of pace. That's what makes the Lions offense so good is that it can operate in many different facets. And I see Ivy and Cade as coexisting well enough together, but also the separate skills that they bring with Ivy's speed, athleticism, fast pace versus Cade's methodical, hunt the mismatch, ISO ball, make the right reads. I think those two can mesh together pretty well. That's why I'm not ready to make that call yet on Jaden Ivey. You could be right. And I know that if they start off 0-2, Easy's gonna champion around and parade around like he solved it. But
shut up, Chris.
No, you are.
When it's 0-2, Chris, shut the fuck up.
When they're 0-2,
no.
0-2, you are.
Don't you know?
0-2.
Don't you know sports
Two
fans?
Games.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
2 games.
Don't put that on me.
There's going to be panic.
Easy, you will. You're already ready to do it.
Chris.
You're already ready to do
that,
it.
Chris.
When Ivy comes back next game.
The 0-2.
Okay, so what's the timeline before you reserve making a Ivy opinion on next season?
I'm gonna get to the trade deadline.
So for the whole 50 games before the trade deadline,
unless it goes south, like unless it's like quite clear. If it's like clearly there, yeah. But 2 games, Chris. Like relax.
I know, brother. I know.
Yeah, don't try.
But you don't like the brother, so he might be right. And
I like Jaden Ivey. I just don't like the fit. I think the way it can work is you put him in the Dennis Schroeder situation. You know what I'm saying, where it's off the bench and it's alleviating Cade. I think he's better. Jaden Ivey's a good basketball player. I think he's better on the court as the guy versus where when Cade's in the court, he's the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's certain people who have to be the guy.
Yes.
Even if they're a bench player. They have to be the guy.
Yeah, you look at like Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson thinks he's the damn man.
Look at the Boston Celtics as an example I bring up all the time. Is like Kyrie Irving went down, those young guys went to the Eastern Conference Finals and took LeBron James to 7. You're like, okay, Kyrie Irving's a really good basketball player. No one here would say Kyrie Irving's a bad basketball player. No. So you're adding Kyrie Irving to that group that went to Eastern Conference Finals, but they got worse. You know what I'm saying? Just because a guy's good doesn't mean he's a fit on the team. You know? That's my whole argument in this. But I think he and Cade could work, and again, an on-off thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm not saying you're wrong on that. I just think you're gonna take the victory lap a little too early because look, there is absolutely gonna be a growing pain because Ivy missed 30+ games plus the playoffs, plus he's entered a contract year. He's gonna come in pretty anxious, excited to prove himself for not only his financial gain, but also for the team and the energy. And that there's going to be a little bit of figuring things out. So, I'm not predicting they start off terribly, but I'm just saying we're going to definitely have to have patience early on in the season, assuming you don't make that big trade this offseason and get you the big fish.
I tell you what, everybody put on your GM's cap right now.
Mm-hmm. Already doing it.
All right. I think I already know your answer.
Yeah, you know my answer.
Jaden Ivey and Durham.
Yeah.
And a first-round pick for KD. Would you do it?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I like Durham.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Like, if you can swap out Durham for Holland, you got me. But KD's old.
Hey. You got to give up something to get something.
I'm giving up Ivy.
You don't even want Ivy. What are you talking about?
I know, but he's a good player. I say he's a good player. You know what I'm saying? Like
here's what Detroit fans do.
I'll do Holland. I'll do Holland and Ivy.
All right, here's what Detroit fans, and both of y'all guilty. Let me pick out 2 guys I really don't want to get a superstar. It doesn't work.
Yeah, but in this scenario, Ivy still got value. He's got probably the most value in a trade right now.
But you don't want him.
Look, I'll be honest with you, Terry. I don't think that trade is getting done. Like I think they're gonna shop Kevin Durant higher than that. And that's just a price tag that I'm not willing to pay for that specific player at that age where he has shown a lot of decline. He's missed a lot of games the last few seasons. I'm not trying to be picky here because I get your point, Terry. I'm not trying to pick the 2 guys I like. I'm not trying to say Sasser, he's got some potential. Like, I'm not trying to do that. I think Durant has real upside, and I think Ivy does too. And for somebody as old as Kevin Durant missing the games, I'm okay with giving up one of those plus picks, but not 2 of those. That's where I would draw a line.
Now, I'm a little bit jaded. I will admit that. I grew up during the era where Piston fans wanted to give up Terry Mills, who was old, and Lindsey Hunter. God bless him. He's
Shout out
to Lindsey Hunter. We still love you, but
yeah.
They wanted to do those 2 for David Robinson, Hall of Fame player.
Yeah.
And that was brought up time after time. I said, dude, they're not gonna make that trade.
Yeah.
San Antonio's not gonna trade David Robinson for them 2 dudes.
By the way, Lindsey Hunter is like I think he's our show stepdad because every time we have a basketball argument, that's who I run to. I'm like, Dad, Spencer said this. By the way, always on my side. But all the way. Just want to let you guys know.
What you need to do is you need to let Lindsey put you on his lap.
Okay.
If he can handle that and tell you some war stories.
I don't know about his lap, but I'll listen. I'll sit down and listen somewhere.
Well, just sit down in front of him. Don't break his legs.
No, I'm down. We gotta definitely have a drink. I'm telling you, we already talked about it, but like we gotta hit Legends someday. Me, you, Maz, Spinny.
I thought Legends closed. Is it still open?
No, it's still open.
Oh, there's a new downtown Legends.
Still, yeah.
Legends. It's
So I don't
gentlemen.
It's alive and thriving.
Yeah,
it's alive and thriving.
I don't do nightclubs.
Oh, we go during the we did a lunch shift. Little 4:30 shift.
Well, 3 p.m. action.
Yeah. Go early while the single moms are there because the kids are at school.
Dude, I'll never forget opening
moms
day.
Are stripping.
Yeah.
Opening day. So opening day, we're downtown for Detroit for shooting content for Woodward and stuff, and somehow. Easy. I don't remember if you were there for this portion of it, but me and like my crew, I was with my Rap Cave crew, and we were downtown, and there's this girl came up to us that was like gave us like a business card.
Yeah,
she's like
2 different color hair. And
and she was like, "I'm going on at 3," and I was like, "You look like you're going on at 3 p.m."
Am I losing my mind? I thought Bazooki's was a strip club down there.
I think Bazooki's may have been shut down. Or they might be still around.
Because I didn't like Bazooki's.
No, I didn't like.
I don't think I've ever
strippers
been
were
there.
mean.
Yeah,
strippers are supposed to be happy and
Friendly.
You know, wanting to dance for you, want your money, and
Yeah.
smile for you, smell like cheap perfume. But you get mean strippers. What's
it was
the point?
Detroit though. Like now, Detroit's more
That's fair.
gentrified, so the strippers are a little bit nicer. You know?
Yeah, that's actually very fair. They're like, we doing this or what?
Yeah. You want to see my mommy milkers or what?
It's the only strip club that I got cussed out by a stripper. Bazookies.
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything.
Are you telling the truth or what?
I didn't touch him. I was just in the wrong seat, I guess.
What'd your fingers smell like?
Smelled like
I'm just-
McDonald's
Baby oil.
hamburgers because that's what I had. Did not smell like tuna.
Chris, we gotta pay some bills.
We do.
Which one we paying right now?
All right, Uncle T, tell us about Dr. Pierce. Why
Oh
don't
yeah,
you?
because I know all y'all out there trying to play softball now and football. Listen up, sports fans. Don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy. Big D! And Thursdays doing The Final Word, which is also known as Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Pierce is here to help you in the game, keep you in the game, and performing at your best. So when you have a sprained ankle or a broken knee or whatever, he'll tell you how to get it back together. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com. That's MichiganSportsSpine.com, or call 248-426-9944.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone. Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsAndSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
If I told you you could place any bet up to $1,000, and if you lose, you get back that money, would you think I'm crazy? Scan this QR code and enter Woodward 1000 for your first bet, and if it doesn't hit, you'll get deposited back $1,000. That's right, up to $1,000 back just for giving it a shot. Minimum bet, just $20. Download Caesar Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports, and don't forget, use the promo code Woodward1000. So all you Jaden Ivey guys, bet that future MVP. Guys, big believers out there. Put your money where your mouth is. You get the money back. I'm just saying. And if you win, you can talk all the trash you want. Sounds good to me.
That's generational wealth.
MVP.
Sounds good to me. I do want to talk Detroit Lions because today was the first day of their mini camp. So we got all the rookies out there. We do got some cuts from there. Just little fun ones, nothing serious. If you want to put on the headphones, T. First one, I don't even remember what I sent you, to be honest with you. I know I sent you Ahmed, and I know I sent you Tyleek.
Yeah. So which one do you want?
You play either one. It don't matter.
All right. First, we'll go from the first round pick. How about that?
How about that?
All right.
How about it?
Here
It's
he
a
is.
fun one. This ain't
Surprising thing. John Legend followed me. Yeah, on Instagram, and I was like, wow, he got like I don't know how many million followers, and he followed me, so it was pretty cool. I ain't DM him yet, but eventually I'm reach out for something, Yeah.
Is John Legend a Lions fan?
He could be. There's more Lion fans now.
That's true. I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
You know who else was a Lions fan?
Who?
Kobe Bryant.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What?
Not a big one. I'll tell you how I know this. Darius Slay, when he was with the Lions.
Shout out. Big Kobe guy.
He was a big Kobe guy.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to meet Kobe after Kobe's last game at the Palace. So I actually told him where Kobe was coming out, so they talked for a few minutes. And then Darius was like, you know who I am? Because he think in L.A. he didn't follow the Lions. Oh, no, I watch the Lions all the time. I like you guys.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, Kobe Bryant.
You think he was that was
and when
was
they
it-
were bad.
Was
he
that
liked
during
them.
the Sue era? Was that during the Sue era?
They were like bad good though. Like we had a
Yeah.
lot of good players, a lot of entertaining games, but we just never won.
Yeah.
Is that when we
I
went
could
to
see
practice?
Kobe liking Sue. I could
Yeah.
see Kobe liking
That's
Sue.
like yeah, I can see Kobe loving Dominic Sue, honestly.
Yeah.
That's like
That's what's
Tom
up.
Brady did the Logan Paul podcast.
Yeah.
It's crazy how many Lions he's been mentioning when they're like, you know, who did you not want to get tackled by? He was like first name out of his mouth, Dominic Sue.
He didn't want to get stomped.
Hell no.
I wouldn't want to get hit by him either.
Yeah.
And then this one kind of, maybe not in the same credit, but he was talking about his guy, Julian Edelman. He's like, I don't know why he thinks he should be compared to like the Calvin Johnsons. And I was like, okay, relax. But he's talking about the championships. I'm like, okay.
That's gotta be racist.
That's gotta be racist. No, I'm playing. It's funny though. You talk about being a fan. That's a perfect segue for the next clip we got from Ahmed Hassani. Which
Yeah.
I actually want to talk about that with you as well too.
All right.
Here we go.
First interaction with Dan Campbell, like,
Man, it kind of feels unreal, you know, like I'm going to keep my glove forever now. I just like walked out of practice and I just shaked his hand and I'm like, Coach, it's me. But it's awesome. No, he's an awesome guy. I mean, I'm just looking forward to learn from him off the field and on the field. He's an amazing coach. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better team to be at, you know.
I see why they drafted him, man.
He is. I swear, this guy. I was talking about his brother. Actually, shout out to Corey. You couldn't hide his passion if you tried. It's kind of like Dan Campbell. Like Dan Campbell, if you talk to him enough about the game of football, he can't hide the passion about how much he loves it. I get that same feeling from this kid. I think he makes a team.
That makes sense.
Yeah, he's what the Lions are.
Yeah.
Yes.
And even if they don't play him, he'll probably make the team because they can bring him in the situations, say, go kill him, go kill, and he'll do it. He said he will die for Dan Campbell.
That's
You know
what
who
they
he
need.
reminds me of?
Who?
You probably didn't watch the show All American.
He looks like
I
Jordan.
watched like 2 episodes.
Like
I
the
can't
quarterback.
fake football actors. I can't do it. They're so bad.
He looks like the
The
quarterback.
actors like are
He
terrible.
does. He looks like the quarterback on All
Jordan.
American.
Yeah, that was
I
my
haven't
first
seen it.
thought. But yeah, I like that you brought up because like even like non-football people talking to Dan Campbell. Like I talked to him for about 10 minutes when I met him. I met him at his daughter's volleyball game. Like, and we were just talking, chatting it up. And like you bring it up, and he just as soon you can see him engaged, and you can see the spirit come out of him when you bring it up.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I brought up Hard Knocks, like I was like, oh, yeah, watch, and he's like, oh yeah, bro, we got a lot coming. Like this was before the season. I'm so excited to be with these guys all season. Like, you can hear it in his voice, but you can like see like. Not like his aura, but you can see his spirit rise when you bring up.
it
like,
bubbles
the team.
over.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Bubble.
And then he
different.
Bubble.
He not like us.
They're not like us. No, yeah, I get like watching him, the stance wonky. He's not very explosive, but the power is there. And just from the few guys I've gotten to speak to about like to do the scouting and stuff like that, is like a lot of guys in the NFL win with power. That's the first thing you need to have to play at the NFL level because these are grown ass men. Now it may take a minute for your power to adjust, for you to learn how to, leverage your way against an NFL tackle versus college tackles. But between him having that strength and him having that passion, I truly feel like at some point, I'm not saying he's going to be a star or nothing like that, but I think he'll be a rotational in what they're looking for in a defensive end.
You know, if they are patient with him, and I know that's a dirty word here in Detroit, patience, but if you're patient with him and are willing to teach him, this dude is like in kindergarten, right? If you can get him to the high school level or whatever, because he's only been playing football for like 5-6 years.
Yeah.
He a baby.
Yes. That's the crazy part to me. We talked about his passion just now. We got the perfect example of that. He's been in the fucking country for 5 years, and he made it to the NFL.
Right.
You know how crazy And like just like gifted he gotta be, just do that alone.
Right. He's from Egypt. I have not seen 100-yard fields in Egypt unless it's a soccer field. So that's pretty crazy.
And that's the type of person you put your money on, like him figuring out, okay, if he already got this far with 5 years and has that passion and dedication, you bet on that guy. Now maybe you're not betting on him being a superstar, like you guys said, but you're betting on that guy to find his way. There's certain players when they have the work ethic, you could bet on them like, all right, look, I know there's some things that aren't there, or there's some things that, you're not quite where you need to be, but I'm betting on that guy because I know he works his tail off, and if in 5 years he's already made it this far, imagine what that guy could do with another 5 years. And I'm guessing that could exist in the NFL. Here's
what I would do if I was Coach Foster. Pull him aside, and I'd say, young man, I know you're going to fuck up. And I'm going to be yelling at you and cussing you out, but don't take it personal because we sticking with you. We know you got the passion. We know eventually this raw dog you're doing now is going to turn into a raw dog plus finesse.
Yeah.
Plus we're going to teach you.
Sharpen your canines a bit.
Yeah. We're sticking with you. Don't get upset when I cuss you out. That's just the way I am. I'm sticking with you because I believe in you. That's what I would do.
I think that's what they do, too. I remember Hard Knocks, and eventually this guy is obviously not on the team anymore, and I forget his name, too. It was some cornerback who he made the team. He kept asking Coach. I think it was even before the roster cut. He's like, Coach, you believe in me? Coach, you believe in me? I don't know if you remember that episode. It was like towards the end. And like, that's why they picked you, because they do believe in you. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole crop of human beings they could have gone over you, but they picked these guys, and these guys in particular that love the game of football. These guys in particular that love the hard work.
You know who you want this dude to become?
Who?
Rodrigo.
Yes.
Because at first Rodrigo was like, y'all letting this rookie outwork you, outthink you, outproduce. That's what they want Hussein to be, or whatever his name is. He's outworking you. He's doing all this stuff, and he's a rookie. Nah, that ain't happening. Y'all better get your shit together. That's what you want to happen eventually.
Absolutely. And shout out to, Chase Lucas was the name. Shout out to Spirit of Detroit. And Spirit of Detroit's got some breakdowns of these players, too, where he's praising them because he loves them. Even though he's calling them bad draft picks now. That's weird. I don't understand that. But he just got some great breakdowns, so make sure you guys check those out later as well. We got to pay some bills. I want to talk about some takeaways from this mini camp they had today from Tim 20man. But first, who we got to pay, Chris?
Lady Jane's. Lady Jane's. Uncle T, tell us about Lady Jane's.
Is it? It is not me. Oh, it is me. All right, guys. I don't go to Lady Jane's. I don't have any hair. Right?
I mean, we were screwed either option. We were screwed either option today.
Okay, yeah, that's true. He got us on here. But you guys like simple stuff like gimmies on the golf course. We like uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Walk in, sign in, and before you know it, you're handsome and clean. And guess what? The person cutting your hair is going to be fine. Right? Lady Jane's open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, and even on Sunday, they're open up. Sunday. It's wicked awesome, and the women are fine. Come on in.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
ShopJars.com's website. You guys need to go to find the nearest location with the top shelf quality, unmatched variety, price for the people. They got 27 locations across the great state of Michigan, including 9 in Metro Detroit, and one's coming to Madison Heights, Grand Rapids, and Milan, Michigan. It's ShopJars.com. What up, though? I'm Mike. World Heavyweights Live, WorldSports.com. I'm joined by Terry Foster, the legend, Young Chris, Young Jerry, a.k.a. Joe Louis. That might be the nickname for you. That's way cooler than Shampoo and Seinfeld.
Call him the Brown Bomber.
The Brown Bomber.
Or just call him Bomber.
He's the Beige Bomber.
Yeah, the Beige Bomber.
The Beige Bomber. There's not much takeaways from the first day of minicamp, but Tyreek Williams was kind of limited in practice. But they said it was due to the long season he had in college football, which makes sense. They played all the way to the national championship.
I thought he fell, too.
He fell in his pre-draft or one of his workouts or something like that. He said he's good from the fall. He's just more so just taking it easy on his body because he played all the way through the national championship.
That makes sense. Yeah,
so that's why I'm okay. No concern there for anybody.
No. So let me ask this then, Eazy. Since we're figuring out what's going to happen at minicamp so far, like what are you most engaged with? What are you most looking forward to out of minicamp? Like what's the headline you want to see?
What I want to see?
Yeah.
These guys look great. I'm saying. The one I'm looking forward to, I don't know what headlines specifically just off the top of my head, but the thing I'm looking most forward to figuring out is Ahmed Hassanin. Like we have a need for edge rusher on this team, so I want to stay tuned to like what's he look like, what do they got him doing? Because the other thing too is he is a little stockier for the position, a little heavier for the position. Not heavier, but just he leans on the heavier side. I think he might play a little inside. But they love doing that with Josh Pascal.
Yeah, his body, I wouldn't call him heavy. His body just
compact.
Doesn't look like an edge rusher.
Yeah.
Looks like he's a hybrid.
Yes.
He could do either one.
And, I mean, obviously, this is a little biased, but, like, obviously we have the connection with his brother. And so I'm able to, like, contact him and be like, hey, what's the game plan with him? What do they got him doing?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking forward to. I guess the headline's coming out of that because it's a position of need.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's Ahmed Hassanin. What's he look like? What's he doing? What's the game plan with him?
Yeah.
Who's it for you?
Hassanin might be the most important rookie they have.
I think
because if he turns into something, you may not have to make a trade for an edge rusher. And he doesn't have to be great. You don't need him to be a Hall of Famer.
Exactly.
But he needs to be a complement to Aiden Hutchinson. He needs to be, competent.
Yeah.
If this guy if we're talking about him after training camp, whoa, this would be a great Brad Holmes find.
Yes.
And this could really help the Lions. If that happens, not saying it's going to happen, but if that happens, I think he could be the most important rookie that they have.
Yeah. I'm with you. And like you said, too, I don't need him to be Aiden Hutchinson. I just need him to be a guy that give Marcus Davenport some time off. Because God knows, we don't know how long he could be able to play a damn season.
No. You want him to give Marcus Davenport his walking papers.
Woo!
Yeah. All right?
Talk to him.
Here's the door.
That's a little bit different.
I don't know if they have his rookie year, though, but I'm with you.
Okay.
That would be – that's what you want to hear for sure.
If he is, like you brought up, if he is Rodrigo, where like day one he's starting and he's like making an impact on this team, that's the best case scenario. But
or he doesn't even have to start. Or if the coach is saying, I can't keep this guy out of the lineup because he's outworking you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's just sharpening the iron of that room. Yeah. I'm with that. But fellas, I'll slightly disagree here. And to me, it's the first round pick, not because he's the first round pick, but because with Aleem going out and missing the first portion of the season, I think Tyreek Williams has to come in and hold the fort and hold his own, because we talk about this defensive line. Yes, it's missing an edge, but the reason it's missing an edge is because the interior and Aiden Hutchinson is so good. So you need to kind of hold that, because we've seen this defense be successful with just one edge in Hutch, and that is a big part of that is Aleem. So I need him to come in and be able to be competent. And look, let's be honest. The last couple of seasons, Aleem has missed games. So as great as he is, and as happy as I am to have him here, you need that guy to not only be good for the time that Aleem is gone, but the time that he or Reader may potentially miss here or there throughout the season, getting nicked up. So I think he's an absolutely essential piece, not just because he's a first round piece.
You know what? I'm not gonna hate him for that. I mean that makes sense too. Yeah. Because he's a first-round pick for a reason. You expect him to make the team. Hassanin, it'd be great if he made the team.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you don't expect it.
Yeah. That's the bonus.
It'd be a huge surprise.
Yeah, because this guy's literally supposed to be on the front lines week one. Tyreek, that is.
Yeah.
And obviously I think he will. I don't know to what level production-wise, but I think you're talking about a guy who's going to stop the run. That's what he's been brought in here to do. And I think he's more – everyone keeps comparing to Aleem, and I agree 100%. But remember when Aleem was drafted, Aleem was a little bit bigger. Aleem had lost some weight. So Aleem was going to play nose tackle. I think he's more replacement feels disrespectful to DJ Reader, but I think that's where he's going to slide over. Now Aleem's going to stay your 3 technique, and then Talik's going to be your big body guy along next to him. Next year.
We may not see Aleem McNeil until Thanksgiving.
You think it's going to be that long?
It could be. Not saying it could be. That's what it's trending towards.
No.
Sorry about that, pal.
I've been convincing myself like week 4, but you're probably right.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
But you know what?
Especially a bigger body guy like that on an ACL.
That's fine because we talked about it after the last season we had. Be healthy week 18. I don't care how long it takes you to get healthy. This team will hold it down. They'll be competitive. They'll be a playoff team. But be at your best. Be at your best week 18.
Averages say the Lions are going to be relatively healthy defensively this year.
Yeah.
It's impossible for the Lions to endure the same injuries that they did a year ago.
Knock on all wood.
That was flukish. That was God saying, Detroit, not your time. Hang on. We'll get you next time.
Brother, it's been that my whole life. Come on, win. Win,
Hey, God said.
Win, Father.
God said, not yet. I'll make you wait a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, got no choice but
I'm
to
with
wait
that.
now.
But
we got a Pope from Detroit, so maybe.
Do you think their odds have gone down since the departure of Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, and a tougher schedule too?
No, I look at sports this way. If something flukish happens, it's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
Lightning doesn't strike twice. I always believe this. Next man up mentality. But the Lions' injuries on defense was so horrendous.
So next man.
Flukish.
Yeah.
I mean, they had like 14, 15 dudes out. There's only 11 on the field.
There's 23.
Yeah, 20. I mean, it was like
15, 16 were starters.
Right. They were getting the dudes Burger King. The Burger King workers were getting injured too, who were out there.
Yeah. You're not lying. And they didn't understand the system. I remember for the first 2 years that Aaron Glenn and Dan Campbell were here, and Dan Campbell specifically, because Aaron Glenn, he didn't really like talking to the media, but Dan Campbell, he'll tell you what it is. He's kind of transparent. You let him talk, Mm-hmm. He had said, we need this defense to trust each other, because everyone has their assigned jobs, but some guys are trying to do too much. You're bringing an entire new crop of people to play defense. A defense that took you 2 years to get your guys.
You don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You look at the dude next to you and say, "Hey, dude, where were you last year?" He said, "I was on fries."
I was window 1.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I was working the window.
Yeah, I did the drive-through last year.
Shout out to Jared Brewski in the Woodward Sports chat with the super chat. He says, now, as a Lions fan, let's not tempt a curse." Yeah, I don't believe in the curse.
Yeah.
Now, I just tell you what I think. This is not going to happen again. Yeah. Not like this.
Yeah.
There might be 4 or 5 dudes out. That's the NFL.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
But not double digits again.
Wait, so you believe the coaching? You think the coaching is just as good as what walked out of the door? In terms of Ben Johnson?
Well, I will say that. I'm not sure about that, but here's what I do know.
Okay.
The Lions, who are now a real organization, because people always say, well, why do you believe in the Lions now? And you didn't before, because they weren't a real organization. They were stupid. These dudes have known for probably 3 or 4 years Ben Johnson was walking out that door.
Yeah.
So what you do is you prepare his replacement.
Yeah.
And they were probably ready last year, but Ben didn't leave. So I don't know if the replacements are going to be as good, but I tell you what, they've been prepared to take over for Ben Johnson.
Yeah, I'm not on the whole Slappy train where, and I only say that because these guys aren't here. I'd probably say if they were here too. Spinny, Nick, I love them. They've gone full Slappy on me though, and they're talking about it's going to be a top 3 offense no matter what. Like, I'm not on that. But what I will say is the guys you have on this team, and I've said this before on here too, but Jahmyr Gibbs, Jamison Williams, those are guys that can score at any given moment, which I believe allow you to be in any given game, no matter the situation. I don't think we're blowing guys. I mean, bad teams will still blow out, sure, but I don't think it's gonna be like it was last year. We're just trashing everybody. I think it's gonna be a lot more fist fights.
Players play.
Mm-hmm.
Is Amon-Ra St. Brown gonna all of a sudden stop dropping passes now?
Mm-hmm.
No, he's still gonna catch him.
Yeah.
Is he gonna still be on the jugs machine? Yep.
Yep.
Is J-Mo still gonna be fast?
Yep.
Is Penei Sewell going to be a monster out there?
Yeah.
And a dude you don't want to mess with? Yeah.
Amongst the scariest.
Players play. Coaches are important, but give me the players over the coaches any day.
Do you think the coaches is why that Vegas line you sent me, that 10.5, do you think that's why it's set there? Because we won 15 games last year.
Yeah, I don't think Vegas totally believes in the Detroit Lions. So they're going with the law of averages. No team wins 15 games in a season. That doesn't happen. I mean, you can count on your hand the number of times that's happened in the last 20, 30 years. So they're saying the Lions will go closer to earth, partly because of losing both coordinators.
Yeah.
And because you don't win 15 games in a season.
Yeah. It's irregular.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got to get the betting on both sides of the equation. I would bet the over on 10.5 for the Lions. Not much over, but I would go over.
Yeah.
Because I still think this is a good team. They still got their players. These dudes are going to be healthy. And this is a word I made up. Pistophagy.
Pistophagy.
What is the pistophagy going to be with this team? Because they lost in the first round of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
My brother got injured once, twice, 3 times. My brother couldn't play. People like Eazy were making fun of us, said we couldn't stop a nosebleed. So my pistophagy is high. So I think that's going to play a bigger role than losing to San Francisco the year before, because that was one game.
Yeah.
This was like
they
saw how good they could be.
Yeah.
Then they saw how bad they can be. So do you want to be good or bad? They want to be good again. So I think the pistophagy, I said it wrong. I said my own word wrong, but it's going to be high.
How do I say it? Pistophagy?
Pistophagy.
Pistophagy.
I forgot the S.
I'm with you on that one. I'm
it's not in the dictionary, but you can use it.
Definitely taking the over, but I understand for all the reasons you just said, on top of the coaches and the schedule too. The schedule a lot harder now as well.
You know what? The schedule is tough today.
Yeah.
Let's see how tough it is in 3 months.
Yeah.
Because every year we say, oh, it's a tough schedule. That's an easy schedule. And then the schedule changes because teams we thought were good aren't good.
Yeah.
And so, boom. So we'll see.
You're on the money with that one, actually.
Yeah.
You just line it up and you play one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
That's my philosophy.
I'm with you on that one. Just as well as I'm with this next advertiser I'm going to read. Chris?
Yes, you are. The massage chair. I know you're with that one. Eazy.
Yeah, but actually I do got to pull it up. It is the Massage Chair Warehouse in Bloomfield Hills at the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. My guy, Dr. Eric Duncan, brought in, what do they call that one? The Pharaoh? $10,000 massage chair, Terry. You got to try that actually when you get off the show.
I sat in it. I thought I was in a rocket ship.
You got to take the shoes off, slip the feet in. You got to get the whole experience. That thing has a start button like a car. Speaking of that, I got a crazy story when we get back. Or maybe I'll just tell you guys during the break. But it's the Massage Chair House. Scan the QR code, visit the website, massagechairhouse.com. Or again, visit them in person, location, set up an appointment at the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got Tully, everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, Tony, what's up, bro?
Same circus, different clowns.
For sure. You want the usual, the big zip?
You know me too well.
I threw a little something extra in there for your ma.
Oh,
Hope
man.
she's doing all right.
Ay, guy, sei un santo. You're a saint.
All right, buddy, we'll see you next time, okay?
Grazie.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
Mad Packs is the hottest new cannabis brand, and they are partnering with Woodward Sports. You know what that means? I'm going to be feeling good for the rest of this season for the Detroit Tigers. Mad Packs is going to take your game to the next level. High-Low is getting you high for the low, delivering top-tier quality at unbeatable prices. Boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka. I am jealous. I always get to say that when they do these reads. Is a live resin-infused tarantula. This one's the bomb. Blizzard Packs, THCA, Moon Rocks, hits like a blizzard. Coming to select retailers in May 2025. Stay tuned with Woodward Sports Network for all the latest updates. Well, if you came out with a weed strain, what would you call it? If you came out with a weed strain, like what would your strain be named? They have the craziest names. This weed is called Boom Shakalaka. Boom Shakalaka. And not just one, 2 Boom Shakalakas. That's a mouthful. Pause. The T-Bomb.
T-Bomb. The T-Bone.
T-Bone. I don't even know what mine would be called.
T-Blitz.
Mine would be called Easy Rolling. You know?
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you smoked?
Deliberately?
Whoa.
Have
you been drugged?
It was probably no. I tell you, I was at a Tiger game, and after the Tiger game, met some girl. Shouldn't have been talking to her, but well, she was cute. She was young.
Yeah.
And I told her I hadn't smoked in 25 years, and I could just see her like, oh, really? So she
challenge accepted.
No, what she did was I had to do something in the parking lot, and she took a big drag and did like this, blew it in my mouth, and I was fucked up.
Did you complete the mission that night or no?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I ended up in Canada that night.
There you go, even better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I told you guys, so, because we were talking about remotes, the remote start. I told you guys during the break, but yesterday I started my car, and I went in the house to go tell my son to pick up his toys or something like that, and then I went back in my car. I must have left my keys in the couch, with a little cup holder in the couch, because I got in my car and I drove 40 minutes here to the studio, got out, locked it and everything, without my keys. Thank God Jerry was there to drive me back.
Was the car running?
Yeah. So
Okay,
I started the car, went in the house.
You know you can drive without your key in the car. You just can't start it up.
I thought it was like a
No.
limit. Only so far you could go.
No, you can go forever,
I drove
man.
40 minutes.
Dude, you can drive to California without the fob in your car. As long as the car starts up.
Must be some type of valet mode. Like, I did not know that. But for everybody knowing, if you leave your car running, you go in the liquor store or whatever, wherever, you know, getting your papers, whatever you're grabbing, somebody can steal your car. I always thought that wouldn't happen. I was like, I got my fob. That can never happen. Now I know. Thank God. Because I've been leaving my car running.
I was never leaving my car. I
leave my car running everywhere.
Really?
Don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm not
Dude, how old are you? 16?
Shit.
You know somebody's gonna take your stuff.
It hasn't happened.
It's gonna.
They haven't want to try me. My elite physique. They've been scared. I said, oh shit.
I mean, had the Browns bomber in there, man. They won't steal your car then.
That's probably what it is. I saw Joe Lewis wrong.
I lock my car when I'm driving.
Yeah,
bro.
I mean,
it's crazy. Like with what's going on and where we're at, bro. Like, well, where I'm at, I be in the city, so
yeah.
I always lock my car when I'm driving around because people are crazy. Even when I'm like by the home.
You really have to lock your car at the gas station.
Yeah,
because you know what they do. When you pumping gas. Mm-hmm. Somebody will sneak into the driver's side or the passenger side, stay low, take your money or your credit cards and stuff, and just kind of they won't even close the door because they don't want you to hear anything.
Well, trust me, I know from when I was younger, I'll be doing some dumb stuff. I definitely been a dumb kid to hop in somebody's car.
Have you ever stole a car?
No, but his sister did, and we went joyriding one time. Or no, I'm sorry, your aunt. Yeah, Kate did a few times. And we went, bro. We were like 12, 13. Oh, we drove around and then we parked in the same spot, put the car back. We just wanted to go riding. My brother actually, that's how he got locked up the first time. Well, he was already on probation for doing some dumb stuff, and then he stole his mom's car and he got pulled over. He was like 12.
I had a friend.
I
had a friend named DeVaron. He's 13 years old. He used to steal cars. He didn't steal them to make money. He just stole them.
That's
the heck of it.
That's what Mark was doing.
It was fun.
And he would always hit me up like, "You want to come outside?" I'm like, "No, bro." Especially our moms. Our moms beat the.
Now you can't. You probably can't do this now, but he always carried a pair of pliers in his pocket because he would start it with the pliers. Can you still? You can't do that now.
In a Kia, you can.
No, huh? yeah, with a Kia.
I don't know from experience, but I know
but
Kias
you know
are
something.
very
He knows
simple
something.
to get
he
into.
knows
You better watch him.
Yeah,
Joe Louis is the thief.
he used to be working on cars with my dad. Terry, you said something before the break about the Detroit Lions being a real organization.
Yes.
And not doing stupid things.
Right.
However, something happened this past draft that I initially perceived as stupid. A lot of people still perceive as stupid. And that was a trade up for Isaac Tesla. They get speaking of cars, Teslas, haha. They get 2 third-round picks. No third-round picks next year for them now. To move up in the 3rd round to grab a wide receiver, who I like, by the way. But it's still a question mark at the end of the day. Just because you like someone don't mean it pans out. We drafted plenty of guys we like and it didn't work out.
All right.
Yeah, but that's scary.
Here's where the Lions are. They're in a different spot. They don't need 3rd-round draft picks. They don't need 11 or 12 draft picks because their roster is so solidified.
Yeah.
They need fewer draft picks. They still need some 1st, 2nd round, and maybe 3rd here and there. But it used to be the Lions had to draft in the 5th round, draft in the 6th round, and they had to stick. They had their 2nd rounders had to stick, which they often didn't do. So there's no room for these dudes anymore because you've got good players that you're not going to move out.
Yeah.
Because it's a better roster.
Yeah. There's that. And then Brad Holmes said something interesting. Actually, even you grab your headphones. Actually, Ray Agnew, the assistant general manager, they don't value those picks these next coming years. You want to know why? It's an NIL. So more guys are going back to school instead of coming to the draft because they're making more money and guaranteed money.
Yeah, the 3rd round draft picks are not as stout as they used to be. It used to be everybody was coming out. So if you didn't get picked in the 1st, 2nd round, you're right there for the 3rd. Now the dude, like, you telling me I'm going to be drafted in the 3rd round, I can make more money at Michigan, so I'm not coming out.
Yeah.
So the 3rd rounders aren't as good as they used to be.
I hypothesized that the other day, and then Ray Agnew came out and straight up just said it today, actually, before minicamp. Yeah.
That's exactly.
The clip.
Oh, go ahead, run the
clip.
Yeah.
Said a couple times is that these last couple drafts haven't maybe been as deep as maybe the first one that you guys had. Why do you think that is? And is there a breaking point coming soon?
I got my thoughts. You know why? I think NIL got a lot to do with it. You know, some of those guys are making pretty good money, so they stay in school. You know, so where it used to be a bunch of juniors would declare and come out, a lot of those guys are staying in school now. So.
He straight up came out and said it.
Yeah.
Like, we don't value these picks the same way because we don't value the crop of players coming out each year now because of NIL.
Hey, it's a new world.
It is a new world.
And Trajan said that too in his press conference because that's how the NBA is right now too.
Yeah.
I mean, you got guys that are going to school for $7 million. They're like, hey, we'll give you $7 million for your first year. They don't even know what this dude's gonna look like in college, but because of his image and likeliness to succeed because of what he did in high school and AAU, they're willing to pay these guys $5 to $10 million to go play for their college.
And I guarantee you too. I mean, I don't know what the stipulations are on these contracts. I didn't sign NIL, but they're probably more guaranteed money too. With the NFL, you get hurt
because it's all
shit out of luck.
It just happens.
So NIL is all based upon
your personal brand.
It stands for name, image, likeliness.
Yep.
So the more you promote yourself, the more money you can make. So yes, they're giving you that $7 million, but the more you promote yourself, the more that money is gonna go up. So then you start getting brand names like Gatorade and people who come in and they start to offer you more money to those NILs, and then people see you based upon those brand names and like commercials and advertisements, and then your NIL goes up.
So is that based off of so we start phrasing these NIL deals as up to $7 million? Is that what when it's being reported? Is it like when you hear the number $7 million, $10 million? It's like it's up to that, and it's about what you mentioned is like how they reach it. Is that what it is, or is it just like a flat guarantee?
I think it's potentially what you can make, but you can make more.
Gotcha.
You can Cooper Flag is off NILs is making a lot more money than what Duke offered him,
And
because
if you get an agent,
he just signed with
throughout the season.
Yeah, you're getting
NFL,
shoe
like, it's
deals.
like, this is the contract we're giving you. Now go out there and play. If you go college and you're playing well, because it's not your contract for playing, it's your contract for how much people give a fuck to hear what what products you're using. You can add on more throughout the season, which you can do at the NFL level. But are you going to start as a third rounder, fourth rounder?
Yeah.
You know.
And you mentioned Cooper Flag. If I was Cooper Flag, I would never leave Duke.
Exactly.
I'd say
man on campus,
big man on campus. Pay me $15 million a year. Next year, I want $20 million.
I just signed with Gatorade and Adidas.
I want $20 million and the dean's daughter right now.
Right.
And especially now that they're doing these junior Olympics, so you got guys that are high school guys playing in the Olympics now. Like, they're getting gold medals and all that. That means you get worldwide likely image too. So now your money's it's crazy what you can do, and with how long you can play in
college now?
It's crazy. I mean, like, you don't get NIL for JUCO. Like, I don't get money for playing JUCO, but the NCAA, you play 2 years of JUCO, you still have 4 years of eligibility in the NCAA. Like, they don't take your NCAA away because you played junior college. Like, you still have your full eligibility.
You can become a professional student.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, I get it. Like, I get the philosophy of it. I still feel like the value of those picks, those trades, like the third rounders, could have been used in an earlier round, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. But it depends.
So you want them so you can trade up, is what you're saying.
Yeah, because, all right, so like last year, Terry and Arnold, what we gave up to move up in the first round was a 1/3 round pick.
Who was we?
And 7th rounder. I say we. I'm French, Terry. You gotta give me a break. No, the Lions gave up. Is that
okay,
better?
there you go.
To move up in the first
round. Because you don't
round.
play for the Lions, you don't work for the Lions. So it's not we, it's they.
We.
It's them.
I said, all right, and die in my team.
We.
I'm gonna say we. But it was a 3rd round pick is what you gave up. And I feel like if you're giving something of that stature, I would prefer it be for somebody who could play right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and you
George
mentioned
Pickens.
Terry Arnold.
Yeah.
Did he play last year?
Yes.
Did he play well?
Is
he going to be very good?
I think he'll be better.
Do you want him on your team?
Yeah.
Then what do you care?
No, that's fine.
He's
That's a
talking
first
about
round
the
pick,
Tesla,
though.
yeah.
We talking about doing 2 3rd rounders for another 3rd round pick. That's just like, okay.
Yeah, but I think the Lions and other teams are saying, you know what? The hit rate is much smaller in the 3rd round than it was a few years ago.
Yeah.
So we'll trade those picks. So what?
Yeah. Listen, it's one of those situations where nobody's going to be right until it plays itself out. And I don't even think it'll be. I think that's 2 years away, 3 years away maybe, because we got to see what Tesla becomes, which is going to be another 2 years away, because we got Tim Patrick, J-Mo, Amon-Ra, Laporta, Gibbs. He ain't seeing too much of the ball this year in his rookie year. It's a developmental year for him. So then the year following will be like the year you truly see what he is. And then for the picks, you got to see what they become too. But you got to give them that same year of grace as well. So it's
do you know when a draft pick loses its value?
When
you actually pick it.
Yes.
Because before that, it's I got these 2 3rd round draft picks. I'm so excited. Then you pick them and you say, I got these 2 rookies who've never played in the league. I don't know what they're going to be. Bam. So, Mr. Eazy, don't worry about those 3rd round picks. Don't worry about it.
No!
Don't lose your sleep over it.
No, honestly, I'm not anymore, because what's done is done. Now we just got to see it play out. But I do want to go to break. We got to go to break.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you guys about Loom. Loom Cannabis, guys. You already know Loom Cannabis Company. It's some of my and Spain's favorite products. They came through and dropped them off. But did you know that you get all brands you love now for less? With unbeatable prices, a wider selection, and the best loyalty program, Loom is the premier destination for the new and experienced shoppers alike. Experience Michigan's #1 recreational dispensary at one of the 38 locations. Use code WSN30 for 30% off your entire order, online or in-store. That is crazy. Usually that's like a first-time thing, 30% off every time. Hit up shop.loom.com today.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Let me tell you about the best merch in the game. If you want to up your Detroit sports swag, head on over to woodwardsports.com. Click that shop tab today. Get yourself some brand new merch. They got hoodies, tees, hats, all of that, all teams, all seasons. They got the Tigers, they got the Lions, the Pistons, the Red Wings. Every Detroit team is available for you at Woodward Sports. Go ahead and go to woodwardsports.com and click that shop tab today to get yourself some brand new merch.
What up? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live on WoodSports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by the legendary Terry Foster. We've got young Chris and Joe Lewis in the building as well. Smash that like button. Be a friend, tell a friend, and share the stream. Like I said, I love Spinny. I love Nick. They are slappies. And deservedly so right now for the Detroit Tigers. But it's a long season, Terry. I have a genuine question that I know they wouldn't give me a genuine answer to. Does it make you nervous the Tigers are this hot this early, or do you think it's something that can be sustained?
It's sustained at this point, no. I know they're going to have a losing streak. There's going to be a time where people are going to be upset with the Tigers. But I still think it's a good team. It's a team that can compete for would you be shocked if they didn't win the Central?
No.
They're going to win the Central.
Kind of, though, actually. I don't know. I might be.
It's going to be tight. They got to worry about Cleveland and Kansas City a little bit, but
yeah,
I think they're the best team in that division. So you take your chances. And, who cares if they win 90 games, 95 games, or 100? Win the division. It doesn't mean you're going to go to the World Series.
Yeah.
Here, let me give you another one of my philosophies. In baseball, a team changes 4 to 5 times in the year.
I agree.
So they're hot now. They're going to go through a lull. They'll get good again. Then they'll go through another lull, and then they may or may not get hot again.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is you got to deal with it.
Yeah.
You got to deal with your team is going to lose some games. Now, the key is, what are they like in September and October?
Yes.
Because that's all we're going to care about.
That's where I'm at. Because even last year, look how horrendous they started the season. Like, they had a 1% chance to make the playoffs. But then they got hot at the end, and then they won a playoff series. That's when I want to be hot. That's what I want to see and do the things they're doing right now.
You know what's happening now? They're setting you up right now because I know you're going to go to a game this weekend or at least next week.
I'm telling them to take this date out this weekend.
Right. And some white girls are going to be rubbing on your head.
Yep.
That's
Eating
all you
grapes.
care about. That's what now is about.
Yeah.
It's about making a guy
White
like
girls.
you happy. It's about white girls. Right. They're going to be coming out in droves. Now, if the Tigers were 10 games below 500, guess what? The white girls stay at home.
Yeah.
They get They go to the mall. They with their boyfriends. But now they're looking for a dude like you at a Tiger game. They want to get a couple beers in you.
They want to make the seats bigger.
Right.
I'm playing.
They want to enjoy a baseball game. They want to rub on a brother's head. And then who knows what's going to happen after that?
Yeah.
We don't know.
But you got faith they'll pick back up.
Huh?
If when it come down, you got faith they'll pick back up.
Yeah.
And be this. That's all I need to hear.
And then Joe Louis over here, he might find some rich girl. He could be in Tahiti next week.
That's your new life mission. I got to be honest with you. That's what I'm putting you on.
What?
Find you a rich girl.
Yeah, but Joe Louis, don't get scared when they come up to you and say, "Hey, baby, you're looking good." Don't go, "Oh, don't be." Just say, "Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I know, baby. What's up, man?"
Remember, like Curly from the Three Stooges?
Yeah, you can't be. They'll leave you. I don't care how good you look. If you start going, they'll leave you. They say, "Okay, I'm gonna find somebody else. Maybe not as cute, but he's gonna have a little confidence. You got a little confidence in your game."
Yes, low overconfidence. It worked for me. I didn't know I was fat till 3 weeks ago.
You gotta be a salesman. You gotta be a salesman at the end of the day.
You just big bone. That's all.
Big bone. Chris, you had your hand up.
Yeah, because I'll tell you why I'm nervous about this Tigers team. I think they're obviously going to be a playoff team at this point. I think everything Terry said is true. It's a long season. You're gonna have your lumps but the reason I'm not sold on this team being a World Series team is simply the fact that Nick brought up yesterday. I love my Booth brother Nick, but he brought up that you have not one, not two, but 3 of the top 5 odds for comeback player of the year. That is insanely historic. The fact that you got 3 guys that we didn't expect to be this good, all the way at the top of the list, 3 of the top 5, that shows you that, look, could one of those comebacks be true? Sure. Could 2 of those comebacks be true? Sure. But it damn sure ain't going to be 3 of them. All 3 of them, that would be like when Terry talked about how unlikely it was that the Lions had those injuries. It is also unlikely that you have 3 players that were catastrophically bad come all the way back to being very good role players. Like, could they simmer down into something a little more average? Sure. But for them to maintain this World Series run that they're on, or this caliber of play that they're doing, those guys have to maintain that. And I don't see that. That's what makes me nervous. You could argue the counterpoint of Parker Meadows coming back and yada yada, so maybe I'm wrong, but I'm scared of the fact that we got 3 guys that the whole betting world looked at and said, damn, I don't think they're going to be this good.
Here, don't be scared. I tell you why. Let's say we're talking in August, and only one of them was in contention for being comeback player of the year.
Yeah.
Would that be catastrophic?
I mean, no, you get it, but I'm just saying, I would assume, though, that our team is no longer playing at the level that they were playing at right now.
But they're not going to. Even if they stay this way, they're not going to play at this level. This level, what's their percentage?
Winning percentage is like 600.
It's like 600.
Yeah.
Dude, nobody's going to do that. They're on pace to win 106 games. They're not going to win 106 games or 110 games.
No.
So then are they then in your mind, by projecting by a season's end, are they contending for a World Series, or you think they're a playoff team, or where do you think they're at? What's their level to you?
Too early to tell. But Sunday is a big day.
Yes.
That's the Sparky Anderson 40 game at Plateau. The problem with baseball is because teams change so differently. I don't care who you are, you're going to go through a slump.
Yeah.
That's been happening since 1860.
Yeah.
So why would that change this year? But what you have to do is you have to have the coaching, you have to have the confidence, you have to have the wherewithal to get out of that slump and to become maybe not what you are now, but to become a competent ball player. Let's look at Spencer Torkelson and Javi Baez. Let's say they don't keep this pace up, but let's say that they are good baseball players. They weren't that last year, and they made the playoffs. They've been an embarrassment. So if they can just continue to become Major League Baseball players, which they weren't the last 2 years, then you should be fine. There's nothing to be worried about.
All right.
Who's your favorite guy right now?
Right now.
There's so many young guys right now just like raking.
They are. I like Torkelson because he's got his big smile and he's happy and
kind of ugly.
I didn't say he was handsome.
I like Cole Keith. I like them all. Really, this Tigers team has been really fun to root for. So many guys.
Look, the man's talking about slappies over here. I like everybody. Jeez,
I'm like Bonnie Blue over here. They're just so easy to root for. Every one of them is a comeback story, pretty much. Yeah. Either a comeback story or like a really young guy that hasn't done anything yet. So they're all easy to root for. The Javi Baez thing is out of this world.
That's like someone took a magic wand and said, "Okay, we're going to transfer you into a baseball player." And when they were talking about, well, you got the surgery, I said, so what? Is that going to stop him from reaching over into the other batter's box for bad balls? No, that doesn't prevent. But he's more disciplined.
Yes,
he's having fun. But the one thing Javi Baez has always been, even at his lowest point, he was getting big hits.
Yeah.
If somebody's on second base, he's going to knock him in. And he's always kept a positive attitude. He never got pissed off. He wasn't pissed at the fans. He didn't blame anybody for his fault.
Yeah.
I'm not playing well, but I'm still coming to the ballpark. I'll do anything you say. I applaud him for that. And he was doing that when he was bad.
You're right. You know why? He don't speak English. He don't even know what the hell they're saying to him. We do gotta go to a break. I come back on. I want to do a mailbag segment. Make sure you guys comment down below. He's like, they love me. They really love me.
Look at the passion.
Yes.
Hey, we got home and told his wife, "Fuck you," because he thought he loved him.
Yeah, she was telling him, "Bum means good in America."
Yeah. All right. Smash that like button to get your mailbag questions in. If you're not gonna have a question, send in your favorite Tiger on this team. I think it's hard to pick from. But first, Chris, final ad break. Who got to pay?
Final ad break. Uncle T has to tell us about Buddy's Pizza, the best pizza in the game.
All right. I'm going to tell you how old I am. Buddy's started serving pizza in 1946. Now, I did not get a slice in 1946, but I went to the place where they were serving the pizza on 6 Mile.
What? Is that because you weren't?
I wasn't alive in 1946.
Oh, dang.
But they were serving pizza back then. And I went to the place where they were serving the first ever slice in Detroit. Now, Buddy, 79 years later, guess what? They got 22 locations, including one near me, which I'm happy about. Fans can visit and begin the corner of 6 Mile and Conant is where they started making pizzas. I've been to that place. You been to 6 Mile and Conant?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say you need to go over there. Sign up for Buddy's Rewards to earn points on every purchase and receive exclusive promotions. Download the Buddy Pizza mobile app and start earning today. I need to do that because we always call, and I'm an app guy now.
Yeah.
Add some Detroit style to your next meal. Save 10% off your entire order using promo code 10MEAL. That's 10MEAL, Buddy'sPizza.com. And that pizza is really good. And so is their chicken strips.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The bats are hot, and the weather's getting hotter. Summertime in the D with Detroit's big hitters, Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness, guys, with over 50 locations in the Metro Detroit area. There's plus 2,500 more across the great country of the United States and all over the world. Visit planetfitness.com to sign up for your black card today. What up, though? Welcome back to What If Waits Live on Sports.com. I'm Eazy, joined by Snow Spin Racks. I'm with the legendary Terry Foss. Shout out to him for joining us. We have young Chris, Young Jerry. Get you guys mailbag questions in for the legendary Terry Foster or myself. Actually, there's one right now. What's your 40-yard dash time from John F. and Lord? Uncle T. Foster.
Best ever?
Yeah.
Or
prime.
now?
Prime in now.
I think prime, I was timed it in 4.7. Not great, but, it's below 5. Today, it'd be a lot worse than that. I bet you I could do it in 5.4.
Today?
Today.
I don't know.
I bet I could.
And
if I don't do it,
yeah,
I'm going to walk to Woodward Sports barefoot with my robe on.
What game's on tonight, guys?
Did you hear about that?
Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce.
Yeah, he didn't do it though.
He did it.
He didn't walk all the way to the studio.
No, KG picked him up.
It was an 8-hour walk.
He got up at 5 in the morning.
He probably just recorded.
We got Denver and OKC. They're tied in the series. They play tonight.
I think OKC woke up. That one might be a wrap. I don't know.
I tried to tell you guys. Listen,
I
hope for Jokic.
Last game
I hope for Jokic, but I don't think they're coming back.
Pacers Cavs at 7:30.
So it's 2 games tonight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that Knicks series has been fun to watch.
Cavs,
they play tomorrow, I believe.
Cavs will get this one, but that series is a wrap. Indiana's winning it.
I want the Cavs to sweep them.
You get swept?
Yeah, Kenny Atkinson needs to be exposed. How'd you feel about him getting the Coach of the Year award over J.B. Bickerstaff?
It didn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a coin flip. But the thing that I'm surprised at is no Piston got an award. There was a bunch of them up there, and you can make an argument why they should have been or why they shouldn't have, but they went 0 for 4. And I told Detroit Kool-Aid beforehand, he said, T, how many awards we're going to win? We're going to win. I said, 0. You know why?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I'm going to expose it because the NBA didn't pay attention to the Pistons this year, until they had that fight with the Minnesota Timberwolves.
It kind of felt like that.
They didn't know what they were doing. Shaq admitted he didn't watch. Other guys wouldn't fess up to it, but people were not paying attention to this team.
So what made, in your opinion, Terry, what made Kenny Atkinson the Coach of the Year? Like, because, I mean, obviously they were still the 3rd seed last year. So what do you think he changed to get that award?
Winning a record number of games kind of does it for you. Having the number 1 seed in the regular season kind of does it for you. So I can understand why he was picked. But traditionally what happens when the media decides on who's Coach of the Year, they pick the coach whose team made the most improvement. That's usually the way it goes.
NFL.
Right.
Yeah.
In any sport. So to me, Coach of the Year is sort of a joke.
Yeah.
But may as well have the clown show in Detroit. Why not? J.B. Bickerstaff should have won that award.
Out of every award that any Piston was up for, that was the one that should have been. They tripled the win total.
Yes.
Like, come on.
They made it. He made us serious. We were a joke for 15 years.
The worst
he
team
made
in the
us
league.
serious.
14 wins. And the gross part, too, is that Kenny Atkinson got the team that he built up, that JB built up, and he had a better record. But a guy as pivotal to what they do, and Evan Mobley, only played 50 games last year when JB was coaching him. So you get him for 70, of course you're going to have a better record. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but people don't look that closely.
But it's crazy. That's their job. You're an NBA writer.
Yeah, that's their job.
You should understand the context surrounding these situations. It's the laziest shit.
You, it is.
It's insane.
And I don't want to burst your bubble, but it's true. These quote-unquote experts, they don't know as much as you do. And you know what we do in Detroit? Radio and TV. Let's get an expert because they're going to tell us about Detroit. They don't know.
That's why I get other podcasters. I really do.
They're reading your stories. They're listening to your podcast, and then they're deciding what to say.
Yeah.
And they're not even watching your team, and you're relying on them to tell you what your team is all about.
I just think it's crazy because essentially J.B. Bickerstaff made a lot of people believe in coaching in the NBA. Because I feel like there was a narrative that
I didn't believe in coaching in the NBA.
There's a narrative that talent will lead you to those wins. I don't believe that. I believe that there is a sense of coaching and a style of basketball, any structure of basketball, and sports in general. But some people just believe that you can put these teams together and they can figure it out. Maybe we've seen that crumble. But I think that's just what the narrative people have with the NBA is, okay, they're professional guys. They can come together and do whatever as players. But no, you need a sense of structure through coaching, and I think people overlook that.
How about having a coach who cares?
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bickerstaff cared. And
A
Bickerstaff put his neck on the line for these guys. He got up in press conferences and said, give us our respect. I'm tired of this stuff. And he was out. That's what you do.
Yeah.
That's what Phil Jackson did when he was taking over the Bulls and the Lakers.
Yeah.
That's what Chuck Daly did when he's trying to
rest in peace.
Tell people the Pistons are good. The Pistons are title contenders. That's what Larry Brown did when he was here. So you got to stand up for your guys. That means a lot in the locker room.
Yeah.
Because I hear people, well, players don't care. Yes, they do. If you show that you care, they're like kids. You know, kids are like, yeah, okay, I'm ready to go. We just heard a guy say that he's going to he would kill to play for Dan Campbell. I rest my case, young brother.
Yep.
Have somebody who cares and have somebody who's standing up for you, and you can get a lot more out of an NBA squad than if you just sit back and just roll the ball out there.
Get somebody to cry for you like Dan Campbell. That is a show for us. Like I said, my name's Eazy at Speaking Sports. It's a legendary Terry Foster joining us.
Shout out.
Did you have fun today?
Pods. I did have fun today. It's always a joy. Like I said before the show rolled, if you told me 10, 15 years ago that I'd be on a desk doing a show with Terry Foster with my nephew in the sound booth and this goofy motherfucker Chris,
That's right.
I would say you're tripping.
Chris
I
gets
met
no
this
love.
guy. He was a fucking head on a stick.
Still am.
Still am.
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of. You catching up,
Yeah,
my brother.
All right, catching up to you is crazy. All right, hold on.
Bro, he said that to me.
And it was a big thrill for me because
Hey, we
I
were
got
driving Jerry's like, you been to this cookie spot? How about this cookie spot though?
Yeah, he's talking about it. Well, you're getting.
I got to work with the guy who has the cutest cheeks in Detroit media. And I'm not talking about the ones he sits on. I'm talking about these little cheeks right here. You do have good cheeks.
I appreciate you, Terry. You have good cheeks too, sir.
Thank you, my friend.
All right, bro. That'll be it.
We'll end the show on that one. See you guys.